Jank stream, folks. Oh, line up for the jank stream. Let's get you all set up and ready to roll. Because we be janking. I like the jank stream, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. Simple, effective. We get to look at all that. I'm going to find this one with Martin Armstrong. He is talking to Greg Hunter. Greg Hunter is a USA watchdog, but they want to talk about like food. How much food you should have on hand because of the coming chaos, right? I think that's a great topic. So let's get there. Got to find it first. I know I should be ready to roll. Ooh, that's one right there. The new vote bill that's coming. Here we go. I saw this one earlier. Okay, it said you need 2 years of food. Now, personally, I think that 6 months to a year. Okay, so let me start it off like this. You have 2 years of food, great. If you can handle all that, and but the thing is that after a while, you have to create your own food, right? So you better be working on the gardening and all that. But we're going to get here. I've said this many times. We have about a year of food for 6 people. Mother-in-law, family of 5, right? And how long that goes, I don't know. Right now, I'm currently trying to eat only 1,600 calories a day. And the reason why is because we're trying to trim up. And, I personally think what's coming is kind of terrible and nasty. And so I know that we're going to want to be in really good shape, right? So this is kind of where we're at right now. This is it. So, by the way, am I on the crisis report or am I on PrepperNow? I can't even tell you. I think I'm on PrepperNow. Am I on PrepperNow or am I on crisis report? If you could tell me which one I'm on. Yeah, we kind of half-cocked tonight. Anyway. Yeah, what channel are you guys watching? I got 2 channels for those that don't know. I got PrepperNow and I've got the Crisis Report. Crisis Report is a straight... Okay, PrepperNow. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm just making sure. I second-guessed myself. It's like, holy crap, did you? I switch back and forth. And I will be doing I will be doing Crisis Report after. Thank you for those that are in the room and reaffirming. You could have totally lied to me, too. All right. So, yeah, this is Martin Armstrong. He has this computer called, not Adonis, Aristotle, I think it's called. If I'm wrong on that, or if you know the name, please put it in there. And this thing is, it's basically goes and tracks what's going on and sends out feelers on the webs and finds all of the different sentiments that are going on across the planet and gives a general consensus of where it is by his own, like this is the way he would describe it, right? And, he goes on to Greg Hunter, who's got USA Watchdog. They used to be on Tube. Now they're only on Rumble. And they're, the interviews he does with people are great. I've watched many of them. And Martin Armstrong does really good stuff too. He's a doomer, and you gotta know that you're getting into that with him. And nothing wrong with a doomer. That's the thing. I was thinking about this earlier today. We all know at some point this whole thing is going to come crashing down. All of us know. We all know it. There's no way that this can keep going. It is unsustainable. Now, here's the thing. Is this going to keep going for another 10 years, 20 years, or 10 months, 20 months, 2 weeks, wake up tomorrow and the stock market crash? We don't know, okay? So it's first of all, not smart to put a date on anything and say, this, we're all going to die and yada yada. But it's also not smart, I think, to be like, everything is fine and we're going to get through it. Because I think we all know everything is not fine. And I mean, some of us might get through it, but some of us might not. And so, me being concerned about all this, mainly, with children, so we started to prep. Backstory for those that are new here. Became a prepper in 2012 after Hurricane Sandy, and watched the entire world around me, because I was living at that time up in the northern burbs of New York City. I watched the entire world come crashing down, and it was very primal. There was no gas. I mean, literally, imagine there's no gas. Imagine driving around. I remember there was one day that I could not find gas, and I drove deep thinking that one of the little Connecticut towns would have it. And sure enough, a little town in Connecticut right over the border called Greenwich, this little village gas station. It was expensive, but you didn't care because you needed the gas. So, if I didn't find anything within 10 miles, I was going to be parked on the side of the road. But also, I remember power's all out and everything else, and I couldn't see anything. I didn't have any TV or anything to do. What I did have was a generator. For some reason, I had a 10-month-old daughter, my first, and I thought, you know what? This winter coming up, last winter was kind of brutal, a lot of ice storms, a lot of power out. Let me get just a basic, generator to run some basic stuff on, in case the power goes out, right? Because there's a couple places north of us that had power out for a couple weeks, and stories of people losing all their food. I thought, you know what, $120 little, 800 watt, 1,000, I think it was 1,000 watt generator would be fine. And so this guy was closing down his lake house and wanted to upgrade the next year, for the summer, and said, you know what, I'll sell this thing. Bought it from him. And sure enough, the fit hit the shan. Sandy came in, and the funny thing about Sandy is what a lot of people don't understand was the year before you had Irene, and everybody was arrogant because Irene was a dud. So when Sandy came in, everybody was like, "Holy crap!" This is, they weren't expecting it, and so, we did our best, and I got this generator, and it saved our food. And I watched movies. I remember it ran, because it was kind of late October. I think it was the 31st October. So it ran like my TV, DVD player, no internet at that time. I just used my phone. And, this is 12 years ago. So this is, data was there and everything, but, what we have now, a little bit different, a little bit backwards. And food and the refrigerator, and that was about it. And I chained the generator because I was worried about someone stealing it to the deck, wood. And I remember going outside, and I was literally in this northern suburb of New York City, the only dude within earshot. I think I heard one other guy in a week that had a generator that was rolling during any time of this. And, the gas, as it started to get open again, it wasn't really doing well in New York City, but it was doing okay, kind of starting a few days after in our area. We started to get some gas back delivered. And I remember this one person showed up with a truck, and in the bed he had about 15 2 to 5 gallon red jerry cans. And he filled them all up. I asked him, I said, where are you coming from? He said, Long Island, I mean, it was probably at least an hour to get there, and that's if there's no traffic. I mean, this guy traveled, because Long Island was, of course, just epicenter. We were north, we were mainland. Anyway, turned me into a prepper, started there, got the generator, started there, made my first little go bag for the car, heavily influenced by Angry Prepper, because I started watching Doomsday Preppers. He was on there. I thought, if this New Yorker can do it, I can do it. Found these other, And of course, on Doomsday Prepper, they try to make them all look like assholes, but they didn't do it. It was enticing enough, but I remember saying, we're going to need food. We got to start. And I went out and got my first prepper haul from BJ's club there, and I didn't know how to. I wanted something that was mobile because, again, if the fit really hit the shan, the plan was to come down where I'm at right now and go to the mother-in-law's house, because the mother-in-law at that time had, a 10-acre farm or whatever it was with horses and resources. It was if you wanted to get out of the city, this is where you're going. So we had it, and I wanted something I could kind of package up. So I got the bright idea of getting a 60-gallon barrel, whatever, the 55-gallon barrel drum with a lock top on it. And I took this thing and I filled it up with all of these cans and canned foods and other things. So if anything were to ever happen, I could take this sucker, roll it over to the car, and get it up into the back. We had an SUV. And I thought it was a pretty ingenious setup. And of course, never had to do that or anything like that. And that's things like, oh, you're never going to have to use it. Well, yeah, I hope never to use it. It's an insurance plan. That's what prepping is. I don't want to use my insurance plan because then my rates go up. I'm currently going through our preps from Rona 2020, 2021 because they're coming up on expiration and we're getting ready to redo things. And so, it's important to first in, first out and get all that stuff. But long story short, I wanted 6 months to a year of food. I thought 6 months to a year of food is doable, acceptable, and would get me through most things. And so now, I don't know. I think a year plus is probably good, but 2 years is a lot. And that's what Martin is saying here. And the reason why is he said, I think the U.S. could default on its debt as early as 2025, probably 2027. I think he's probably a little early, but between 2025 and 2030, it wouldn't take much. Right now, if you know what's going on in the background of the markets with the treasury yields and the lending and the usury and all that, if you know what's going on in the background, things are not doing well. There's a lot of systemic problems that are starting to show cracks. And this is the kind of stuff I like to talk about. It bores some people, it waters the mind or eyes or whatever. But, how much food do I need? How much food? And you tell me. Why don't you put in the chat, put in the comments, how much food should a person have? I think a year is solid. And don't feel bad if you're a prepper. I get real mad at this. People want to do measuring contests and everything. I'm sure I'll get some person who'll come in and be like, I've got, 47 years worth of food. And, I've got some of the prepper buckets with the 25-year stuff. Great. You've got 47 years of food. Congratulations. Let's be realistic, though. Most people live in apartments. Most people live in homes and don't have the ability to serve and start or, have 47 years of food. It's logistics. You don't have that ability. And there's nothing wrong with that. And don't feel wrong or you're not a prepper because you've only got 2 weeks of food. I cannot stand people that shame other people for only having like 2 weeks worth of food. That's, mofo, there's only people right now, that's all they can do. Like, don't shame people because they can only do so much. That really aggravates me. So if you got 2 weeks, congratulations. You're better than 95% of the population, right? So he says he's just in the United States. Europe is in the same boat. So is Japan. And that's why they need war. And anybody who knows anything, how did America get out of the Great Depression? It got out by World War II. It turned on the great American industrial machine. We started kicking out boats, tanks, war machines, yada, yada. And we got out of the mires of 20 years, really, of depression, because we were depressed in the 30s and really the 40s. 40s brought on rationing, if you know World War II, and stuff like that. That's the thing. People don't know like how hardcore rationing will get. It will if things get bad enough. And then, of course, by the 50s, things were starting to kind of level and be okay, get better. So they think by going into war, the excuse of the default on the debt simply will not pay China. And that's the other thing people don't know. There's places like China. Zach, thanks so much, brother. I appreciate that. There's places like China that own our treasuries. Other countries have gone out and bought millions or even in some cases billions of dollars worth of treasuries. And they're expecting those to mature and get paid back for them. So there are people in our government that think, we can default on debt. We can do whatever. Well, part of the reason why we are where we are, if you know anything about modern monetary theory, is we're the reserve currency. The only reason why we are where we are is because, and being able to kick the can, quote unquote, so far down the road is because we are the reserve currency of the world. When we can basically, just keep printing money, and we can, that's why our food is so expensive right now. That's why everything is going up in price. We're trying to eat clean. Okay. So we're trying to lose weight and we're trying to eat clean. What does that mean? That means you only eat like fruits and vegetables and lean meats and absolutely nothing processed. So that's what we're doing right now. If you're going to get like something like pasta, you got to go get the really high end stuff. The materials and the ingredients have to be like 3, 4 or less. And everything you read, you can pronounce. A lot of people say easy way to think about it if you're in the grocery store is to go out to the perimeter. You want to be not in the aisles. You want to be on the perimeter, on the walls going around. Your fresh dairy, your fresh fruits and vegetables, your deli and stuff like that, right? So we're trying it, and it's actually doing pretty good. And we've, some things are more expensive and some things are less expensive. So, like tonight we made chicken and rice bowls. I got this really good chicken that had a chimichurri sauce on it, and we, baked it and then chopped it up, and then we put it with black beans and rice, and then it was an organic enchilada sauce and an avocado. My wife had sour cream on hers. I'm trying to cut out a lot of dairy. I didn't do the sour cream. But I got to tell you, it was filling and it was good. It's 10:30 at night right now. I ate it at 5:30, and I'm not hungry. So, but clean, this is the whole goal. This is what we're going for. So it's not easy for people to do that. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't just go out and change like that. They have to, do what they can do to get by. There was a time, folks, when I was living in Seattle, I had to go and utilize a food bank. Okay, I have absolutely no judgment on anyone. If the best you can do is eat from cans and it's processed and all that, please don't think I'm like in a judgment or anything like that. I've been there, I've done that, and I've got it. I get it, and it's a terrible thing when it's not terrible, but it's like it's frustrating when that's the best that the world is kind of given to you. And the problem with what's going on right now is that there's a lot of people that's the best that's being given to them. There's a lot of people right now that are working multiple jobs. There's a time I had 3 jobs. Again, been there, done that. Had a job working as an aide in a school for a severe autism classroom. And then I worked a bartending job and a waiter bartending job, Worked a brunch on Saturday, Sunday, and then Sunday night through Wednesday, I worked the other place. I'd pick up shifts on Fridays, but Monday through Friday, I worked during the daytime as in a classroom, because it's the best I could do. And I was tired. I remember there's one night I was sitting on my bed like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. And I was going to school at the time. And not to kiss my own butt, but like there's people that are doing that right now. And I was much younger, and so I don't know if I could do it now. Probably couldn't. And for those that are out there kicking it out, 3 jobs. I mean, God bless you. You're tough. You're the tough one. So, He says, in a good video by Rudy, Alaska Prepper today. A lot of people have been talking about other channels lately. So I want to start to drop other channels that I think are really good. I watch Rudy from time to time, not, every day, but he had a really good video today on CBDCs if you get a chance. He's like Grandpa Prepper, he's like the OG. Everybody loves Rudy. Anyway, Alaska Prepper. But he's talking about CBDCs. And IMF already completed its digital coin. People are desperately just trying to hang on to power. Nobody wants to give it up. And that's the thing. You've got a declining power structure, and the only way to kind of keep things going in their direction is to just basically try to take more and more and more control. Because that's what they want. They want control. If they can take away people's ability to criticize and to say, yo, what you're doing there is messed up, through all the different platforms we have, then the people in charge don't have anything to worry about. So if the people in charge can do whatever they want to people and not worry about even at the base, like any kind of a verbal lashing from people, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. They don't care, right? They're going to hold on to their power. So the CBDC thing is scary because it just made, why is that? Think about it too. I was thinking about this on my walk tonight. They go out, they ruin everything. They get us into, $35 trillion in debt. They make it so inflation is literally kicking people in the nuts. And then they go, you know what we need to do? We need to bring in a CBDC so we can have every transaction accounted for so we can properly tax them. So we can take that tax money and then just crap it all away again. That's literally what they're saying. It's not an exaggeration. That's the goal. That's what they want to do. Now, I don't know about you, but if I loan my drunk uncle my car and he takes the thing and he wraps it around a telephone pole and I just get the car back and the insurance is paid for it, and he comes up, after 3 Heinekens, he's like, can I have the car again? No, you're not getting the car again. Walk. In fact, why don't you go home and sleep it off? So now our drunken sailor Congress is this is what they're coming up with. This is what they think would be the smart thing to do. Let's get some CBDC in there. We can transact on everything, get all the taxes. Yeah. So Martin says 2 years of food. I think at least a year. If you got 2 years, congratulations. You're better than, again, like probably 99.9% of the people. And there are preppers that do. Like Rudy, Alaska Prepper, but he's up in Alaska, a little different. They have to do that. If you know anything about Alaska, he's probably there. I know Angry's got a huge storage system. I'm sure Bear's got a bunch. Ours is all over at the Bug Out Farm. We've got probably 500 pounds of rice. I'm going to go into quinoa too. Again, trying to go. Someone said a great comment the other night. They said rice is trash. You want to do quinoa, and you basically cook it the same way. It's the way I make my rice. Put your rice recipe into the chat or into the comments. The way I do rice is I get 2 cups of water. I learned this from my my first roommate, after I moved away from my Midwestern home. And he was of Latin descent. Take 2 cups of water, you put it in the pan, you boil it. As soon as it gets boiling, you take 1 cup of rice, you throw it in there, give a quick stir to distribute it. You put the top on the stir, or the saucepan. You turn the stove off when it's at full boiling. So, 2 cups of water, full boiling, rice in, stir to distribute, and then put the cap on. And then you turn the stove off, and you come back in 10 minutes, and you'll have perfect rice. I've never not had perfect rice. So, and that's the thing. This is all this stuff. This is just basic crap. You guys know this stuff. I'm sure your rice recipe is better than mine. So, our inflation. That's another thing. If you're getting food, you kind of want to do it now, Because if you think inflation is going down, it's not. Inflation is going to keep going up, 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 up. You can hear the rain on our roof right now, probably. It's been raining a lot lately. By design, huh? They need to get this area. I'm outside of D.C., so they need the local farmers to give Pan Am their fruits and vegetables. So, gold and silver, you want physical items. I said this the other day in my Do This video. You want physical items, stuff like that. Our currency, folks, is going to be trash. It's going to be trash. There's going to be a day. I don't know when. It could be a decade out. I don't know. There's going to be a day where you're going to wake up and the dollar will be either challenged and no longer the reserve currency, or we'll have some form of a crisis or some combination thereof. It's just a matter of time. And you know how I know that? Because it's happened all throughout time. There was a time when the British pound was the reserve currency. There was a time when the Dutch, whatever the heck they call it, the Netherlands, they had the reserve currency. Portugal had the reserve currency in the age of exploration. Why? Because these were the countries that were out doing the things. They were doing things that were, growing their mercantilism. So now you've got globalization and all that, and the dollar is post-World War II hegemon, but that's going to change. It's going to change at some point. Now, whether it goes digital, it goes to gold-backed, it goes to CBDC, it goes to Bitcoin, I don't know. But I can tell you at some point the dollar will die. And that's why physical items are just smart. There's people that challenge and say, hey, we're not in a world war right now. I think we're in the beginning stages. If you were to ask people in Europe as they look back, sorry about that, little foot stomp. If you were to ask people in World War II as they look back, was 1935 Germany in World War? Technically, no, but really, yes. All of the state apparatuses we're putting in to make it so a guy like Adolf could come to power. The Enabling Act, fire at the Reichstag, all this kind of stuff. That's where we're at right now. The empire is changing. It's burning down its old, previously elite and, God, not elite. The old America is basically burning all around us, and the new America is about to be unveiled. And I don't think people are going to like it like they do the old America. Why do you think we have bills in Congress right now where they're trying to challenge who can vote? Is there another country on the planet that would allow outsiders to vote? I don't think so. So why would we have an entire political party trying to do that? Because it's coming. Republicans put in a bill today or in the last few days about making it so you have to be a citizen to vote. I mean, I think that's like 101 kind of stuff. So the chaos is coming. The chaos is coming. There's people that are saying that, the 2024 is not going to be decided by voting, but decided by lawyers. And I completely concur. They're staging lawfare. I said it the other night too. I said, you want to stop all this crap that's going on in our country, put out bills for stopping lawfare. Make it so you can't have all the litigious rights that they have, where they're trying to, do all kinds of crap to get people mired into criminal case after criminal case or civil case after civil case, all that stuff. Make it so there has to be some kind of a metric to be there. Because I think we've all seen, and they're all collapsing right now. That's the funny thing about it. A lot of these cases are collapsing. There's nothing there. Say what you will about Trump, and you've been here a while. I'm not like Mr. Let me go down on Trump. I'm not. I hope he beats Biden. I do. I at this point, basically anybody but Joe, because he frightens me. The whole his whole side of things and where they want to take the country, I fundamentally disagree, and they frighten me. You know, and it should say something that they want to silence people so they can't even contest that. But you know, they should be a fair fight. It should be a fair election. It should be people that do what we've always done, where you put your best platform forward and you just try to win. If you can't win, you know, because your platform sucks and nobody wants copious amounts of new neighbors, and they think that maybe we should be able to do things with healthcare and other things, and maybe things like infanticide, if you know what I'm talking about, should be states' rights, things like that. So we're just too far gone. We're just too far gone, in my opinion. So, and I could be wrong. But yeah, Martin says 2 years of food. I don't know. I'd say at least a year. And if you have 2 weeks, try to build that out. You know, I said this the other night. People want to, they get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. You know, I'm trying to lose weight right now, and I've got this grandiose goal. And I've been at the same weight for like 3 days. It's like, don't think about the grandiose goal. Think about the next pound, the next half pound. You know, try to do that. Don't just try to go all or in. That's why we're still, trying to lose weight at the ripe old age of 50. You know, it's not because we're gonna, become like our former football selves and run a 40-yard dash in under 4 point whatever the hell it is. Just because we want to get healthy and watch the grandkids grow up. So you tell me, how much food? How much food do we need? What's coming? Is Martin right? Are we going to be subjected to AI overlords? Where are we going to be with all this? What's going to happen? Is this? Are we going to turn the ship around? I don't know. I don't think so. So, tell me about the bills too. Do you like the new bills that are coming out about the what you need for voting? I don't know. I do. I think that I can't. My 5-year-old shouldn't be able to go in and buy a 6-pack of Heineken. So, anyway, 4 years of food, says Saxon of Riverstone. You know what? The way things are going, you're probably right, sir. So, probably AI overlords. Bad Bobber says, no going back now. No, we're just, we're beyond. Kathleen Maddox says 2 years. Okay. But also remember with that food, folks, we need to learn skills. We need to learn how to grow food. We need to learn how to, salt meat and stuff like that. That's where I want to get to. I've almost got the food growth thing on a level where, if things really got bad, we could do it. We've got the ability, we've got land, we've got everything we could do it. And make it happen, So, we'll see. All right, folks, I'm going to jank stream the crisis report just to break it up a little bit. So, if you are so inclined, please hit the like button if you have not. I really appreciate that. It helps. Jank streams seem to be lower in the liking and stuff. I don't know if it's just a YouTube thing or whatever, but leave a comment if you can. All of this engagement stuff is proven effective to help. Leave a comment. Tell me about your rice recipe. Tell me about your storage of food. Tell me, something that is thinking outside the box. Maybe you shouldn't do quinoa or rice. You should do lentils, something like that. Okay? We're not going to get anywhere unless we get all of you in on the conversation. Because, I'm a pretty smart dude, but the people in the comments are, that's where the gold is. I've learned more from comments on YouTube than I have from watching all kinds of videos. So, to those people that just hit the like button, thank you very much. Friends, I'm going to cut it off here. I shouted out some channels last night, Hudson Valley Preparedness being one of them. I wanted to give a couple more, a few more, actually 3. I just subscribed to Devil Dog Prepper, not to be confused with Prepper Dog. Devil Dog Prepper. And I just subscribed to Vision Preparedness. They're both in Ohio, former resident of Ohio, so I got the Ohio love. Also, friends with a guy by the name of Fed Up American. And he's been on my channel in the streams and talking to me in the background from time to time. Good dude. But also Roaming Prepper, Pete, my man. If you have not seen Roaming Prepper's videos, please do it. And he and I have done live streams together. Incredibly intelligent guy. This summer, Hudson Valley, you might want to open up your ears on this one. I'd like to do a live stream on my channel with some of those people. Some of the people that I think have great channels that could grow a little bit more. Hudson Valley being one. Roaming being one. I'd like to bring Prepping by Faith. Get the female perspective because she's incredible. She's awesome. Yeah, so check out the other prepper channels. I know there's been some smack talked about some of them. There's a lot of people that are out there trying to be hucksters and buy their whatever insert it is here. You know, they're running a business. I get it. Fact of the matter is that the only way we're all going to get through this is if we get people into preparedness. The reason why we are where we are is because way back in the day, one of your ancestors was a prepper. We are here in this time of day in society because people way back when were preppers. They learned all the things. They grew their food. They hunted and used animals for stuff and figured out different ways of surviving. So, very important. Oh, another one. I've been talking to him in, not in the background, but in his comments. Survival Living. If you have not checked out Survival Living, he's a good dude. This guy tried to pit us against each other a couple years ago, and I immediately contacted CP and said, hey, man, that's not me. And he was totally cool about it. He said, I know it wasn't you, brother. You're good. And he's always said nice things about me. So check out Survival Living as well. Another great channel. He's larger than me, but he's a real deal. And he's got a skill that I wish I had. He's a mechanic. You want to talk about surviving SHTF? Mechanics will do it. I actually went and visited the S-21 prison in Cambodia, where the communists purged 5 million people. And of the 8 people, I think it's 8 or some low number like that made it out of the S-21 prison, you know who it was? It was the mechanics. Because those Khmer Rouge folks needed those trucks rolling, and if they killed all the mechanics, they wouldn't have any vehicles. So, excellent skill. All right, friends, we're going to turn this one off. Keep prepping, keep doing the things. Just some straight prepper talk tonight. Get prepped. We're in a world of hurt as it goes as a country, financially, on all many different levels. So, God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow on the next one.